Hello and welcome to Impact Africa, our online talk show where we get to have conversations with diverse people and organizations who are impacting lives positively. I am Dr. Kemi Adebayo, also known as Mama K, and in today's special edition, we are having none other than the trailblazer, selfless Engineer Ify Anyaegbu. She is the founder of FACEYOUth, which is based in Aberdeen, Scotland. My dear sister Ify, how are you today? Hello, welcome to Impact Africa, our online talk show where we get to have conversations with diverse people and organizations who are impacting lives positively. My name is Kemi Adebayo, also known as Mama K. And yes, it's doctor now. I forget even sometimes to add that, but it's all good. And we've got in today's special episode, my dear sister from another mother. You know, I have brothers and sisters from everywhere. One and only trailblazer, selfless. She's doing amazing things. Engineer Ify, I need to add that as well. Anyaegbu, she is the founder of FACEYOUth, which is based in Scotland, Aberdeen. So shout out from Cape Town to Scotland, Ify. How are you today?
Thank you so much, Mama K. I'm doing very well, thank you. Absolute pleasure to be here. Always a delight to talk to you. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Now let's go. I know Ify, Anyaegbu, Scotland, you know, it doesn't matter. Where are you from? Where were you born? Tell us, you know, where you come from, although you could have been born in Scotland, actually, so don't let me assume you're from Scotland, but I guess you're not from Scotland.
No, I'm not.
But you are now a Scottish. But where are you from, and how did you get to Scotland?
Yeah, so thank you so much for that amazing introduction. I couldn't believe you were actually talking about me. Yes, my name is Ify Anyaegbu, and I'm an engineering manager and a social entrepreneur. I'm the founder of the Foundation for Advancement of Child Education and Youth Empowerment, popularly known as FACEYOUth. Thankfully, we just got our trademark. Yeah. We are registered in Scotland and in Nigeria too. It's an international charity organization. We also have footprint in Malawi and Ghana. We're gradually expanding to other African countries. We'll come to.
Why are you not in South Africa?
We will, Mama K. We will.
Malawi again.
To talk about that. So essentially, it's a small charitable organization committed to improving the lives of disadvantaged children and young people in Scotland and overseas as well. So for over 5 years, we've been impacting and supporting individuals and families through various projects, from empowering vulnerable and less privileged children to providing families with, you know, emergency food supplies and other income generating opportunities, and full-time scholarship, and hosting sessions on, you know, mental health awareness, because we believe that for young people to thrive, they have to be in both excellent physical and mental health and well-being. So the aim is to relieve them of any disadvantage and help people lead a fulfilling life. And yes, I was not born in Scotland. I was proudly made in Nigeria. That's what I tell people, that I'm made in Nigeria, exported to the United Kingdom, and consumed worldwide. That's my
like that.
Yeah. Wow. So I was born in Nigeria, and I started my journey from Nigeria. I went to school. You know how it is: primary, secondary, and university in Nigeria, before joining one of the world leading oil and gas service providers in Nigeria. And I was transferred to Aberdeen as an expatriate to run one of their specialized tools, and settled eventually. So yes, that was my journey. So engineering brought me from Africa to the United Kingdom. Yes, I'm now British, but I was born in Nigeria. I was made in Nigeria.
Made in Nigeria and consumed.
Proudly made in Nigeria.
Proudly made
globally.
Okay, let's go back before we go on to Scotland. Let's go back to Nigeria now first, in terms of where you were born. So where exactly were you born and where do you come from? Because I know even in Nigeria, you could be born in a state and your heritage is from another state. So share that with us. And where did you school? Where did you do your engineering?
Yeah, so I was born and bred in Enugu, Nigeria. But I'm from Anambra State. Although Enugu used to be old Anambra, you know how it is, before the creation of state in 1991. So my parents were like civil servants, and so they were based at the headquarters in Enugu. They were working in Enugu at the time when we were all born. So I was born in Nigeria, but I'm from Anambra, now Anambra State. And I went to school in Enugu. So all my schooling done in Enugu, apart from the tertiary, which was in Anambra, back to the Federal University in Anambra State. So yeah, that's essentially my journey.
What was your position in your family?
Yeah, okay. I'm in the middle. I'm 4 out of 6 standing siblings and all professional in their field. So my mom did an amazing job to produce like 6 graduates. So, in Nigeria as a civil servant, because she was also a young widow, she lost her husband at a young age of 46. So she did an amazing job single-handedly raising 6 graduates. So I give her kudos.
Well done, Mama. Well done. No, 6 children, and as a widow. Wow, so much respect, for her. So, life growing up, and tell us a little bit about Enugu or Anambra in terms of culture that you want to share, because this program is heard all across Africa and other places. So, tell Anambra or Enugu to me in 2 sentences.
In 2 sentences. I miss abacha. Oh my God, I miss the food. Yes, I'm a foodie. I miss my cultural heritage. I miss the people. We're loving people, When I came, I had a cultural shock because you know how we are. I'm a hugger. And then I came. I remember when I flew into Aberdeen after my training, I went straight offshore. But then when I met with my colleagues in the office, I wanted to hug the way we do in Nigeria, and everybody was bringing out there. I'm like, no, we're like family. I'm coming to work with you. I need to have that relationship, But so that's what I miss. I miss our people, that everybody, even when you are not blood relations, you just even sisterhood, you just meet somebody and you gel, you hug them and all that. I miss the food. Oh my God. And the seasonal fruits. This season is German mango and agbalumo. I'm preparing for it and I'm not pregnant. I told one of no, that's me done with having children. I told one of my friends to bring one for me, and the first thing she said, "Are you pregnant? Why?" I'm like, no. I'm done having babies. I miss my seasonal fruits. Honestly. I don't know what the name is for agbalumo. I've just realized, in case people are thinking, what is agbalumo? Yeah, I know. So it's the cherry, right? We call it cherry. Is it?
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah, it's a cherry. It's a rare seasonal fruit from Nigeria. I think it's grown in the southern part of Nigeria. So south is southwest. Yeah.
And I heard recently that it does have a lot of medicinal benefits. You heard as well. Because I know you do a lot of programs.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. Let's still stay in Nigeria here now. So why did you choose engineering as a female, for you? Why did you choose engineering? And how was that studying, or what was your first job? Was it becoming an engineer or was it something else?
Yeah. So engineering was a no-brainer for me. I mean, my parents, because I was science inclined, right? I was good but I love mathematics and physics. Yeah. So I was growing up, I don't know if you remember using the boiler ring. You remember the old boiler ring we used to boil water? So I used to fix it for the whole neighborhood. And I just started from my house. You know, when the first thing that falls from that boiler ring is the cable at the head that snaps. So one day I was just playing, and I wasn't even in secondary school. I think I was about 12. I use screwdrivers a lot, and my dad lets me because I'm also very careful. I'm creative and careful. So I use screwdriver to open it. One of them is fault. And I discovered that one of the cables snapped. I fixed it. Even the ironing, you know, the iron, the machine.
Yes.
So most times it's just the fuse and people replace it. And one day I saw on TV, and I watch a lot of, just like I'm encouraging my daughter now, she loves all these planets. So I think she's going to be an astronaut. So I was always drawn to all the technical, electrical stuff. So when I see it on TV, I pay attention. What are they doing? Soldering and all that. So I was really good at that, fixing things. When it came to choosing the course to go to uni, you know, it's mostly our parents in Nigeria that choose it. They want you to be a doctor because they want to be the mom of a doctor. They need somebody to take care of themselves. So my mom's first choice was medicine. I didn't like chemistry that much. I was good at it. Obviously, in Nigeria, you study to pass. Biology, I kind of liked, but I wouldn't choose biology for physics, you know, because biology you can relate with, you learn things about your life, your health, and you. I was also learning because I held that there's a book in my house that's called Your Health and You. So you know we are used to self-medication in Nigeria. So when you're sick, you just bring out that book. There was no internet growing up, just for people wondering now, because Google is the equivalent of the Your Health and You book. So I used to bring that book and dissect it. So when somebody is sick, I'll say, so my mom thought, oh, it's medicine, she's good at it. So you won't blame her for it, but I'm good at a lot of things because I love reading. I enjoy reading. I'm one of those that can sit and read and not do any chores. So I'd rather read than go to do a chore. So it was deep at the time. So I remember my mom would say, my siblings would be like, she's not doing any chores. And my mom said, no, let her read. She's going to be my doctor. Just leave her. I will do it for her. So I didn't do a lot of domestic chores growing up. I
got away with it.
I know I got away with it. Me and my younger brothers. So we were the, you know, academically, all of us are graduates, but we're both he's now a medical doctor, so I'm the engineer. So my mom.
So at least your mom got.
My mom got her wish exactly. So essentially, physics and mathematics were my best. So when it got to filling the form for JAMB, I chose engineering. I wanted to do computer engineering. So I wanted to be a software engineer, right? Hardware and software engineer. I wanted to learn a bit. I was already good at the hardware because I was going to learn about fixing computers and all that during my gap year, right? So I think I chose electrical electronics and computer engineering at Obafemi Awolowo University, Ileife. But at the time there was crisis I don't know, and whether strike or crisis, and I couldn't get on. I got a very high score when I took the first JAMB at 16. I think it was SS2. So my mom made me take the second one and put medicine. So she filled the second one and said, and you're not going far. There's no way you are putting OA, you put University of Nigeria in Nsukka, because Nsukka and Nnamdi Azikiwe University. So and you know what? I went to JAMB office and changed my form at 17. She didn't know. Against my mom's wish, she didn't know. The only accomplice was my grandmother, because I really cried to her and say, I don't think I want to study medicine. I'm not one of those that can sit in one place and study for a long time. I'm very creative. I'm restless. Like, I want to explore. I want to know why something is happening and all that. So I went with my grandmother, who gave her blessing. I was ready to, you know.
Grandmother, grannies, that's what they do.
Yes. We didn't tell anybody until I got the admission. But my mom was shocked because she thought it was medicine and all that. So that was when I confessed to her. You know, my grandmother was there, obviously. You get punished. She may not pay us if you don't do that. Exactly. So, because So for our young listeners, don't do what I did. Always.
Exactly. We need to put that disclaimer there.
Mommy knows best. Mommy knows best. Perhaps if I had chosen medicine, I would have been like inventor of the next ampicillin or something. So mommy knows best. I know my son is going to listen to this. So
I know we're going. Well, I've been told that we need to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Impact Africa, and what an amazing first segment I got there. Engineer Ify was just going, about her journey, sharing, the fact that she was brought by this powerful mother who at a very young, age, she was a widow, but still brought 6 amazing children up. But credit to your dad as well, and may his soul continue to rest in peace.
Amen.
And how it started as well with just making various things, not knowing, you always wanted to become an engineer, and we won't talk about what you did, with your mom, with what you shared there. So we hope people can't remember what you said there. But, you're now an engineer, and you're the founder of FACEYOUth, which is doing amazing work in Aberdeen. So tell us how that journey has been for you with FACEYOUth, because I know now you actually have a community center. I don't know how you did it, but share some of your journey, with us with some of your programs.
It's been an exciting few years with FACEYOUth. So, I mean, I like engineering. It's my first passion, right? But I'm passionate about making a difference, changing lives, impacting lives, especially helping those who won't even get the opportunity to say thank you or God bless you to you. I mean, it means a lot to me. That's why I tell my friends that I get my oxytocin and endorphin from, FACEYOUth, really, because sometimes they be like, you do too much. Why don't you? Because I still work part-time and I'm going back to full-time in April. Believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, I know, because I think we built FACEYOUth to I have built, or we, the team, because I have a team, it's not just me working. I have an amazing team doing a lot on the background to make FACEYOUth the success that it is today. We have an amazing management committee and a team of volunteers, selfless volunteers. So when I say volunteers, they are real volunteers, unpaid. And it's amazing. So it's been a very exciting journey so far. When I started,
let me rewind a little bit there now. So what you said, you started some few years, but what year exactly did you start?
Okay, so if you ask me the year I started being a change maker, I would say it's 2006, right?
Okay.
But FACEYOUth was registered in 2016. But we didn't get to operate in Aberdeen until we got a center last year. Because when I started FACEYOUth, let me tell you a little bit of story. When I joined the oil and gas industry in 2006, I just, it was fresh out of school, NYSC. So I did my NYSC with NMPC. So it was my first job. Immediately out of NYSC, I got into the industry. So I didn't really look for a job but the interview was, long and tedious and very challenging. Yeah, but very rewarding because it's a very rewarding career. So, when I joined the industry, I got a few of my friends, especially female friends. So what we did was, in order to pay back, we were like, how about we give like maybe a little token from our salary, say 100K every month, to support education for girls in STEM. So it started with girls in STEM, girls like me. So STEM means science, technology, engineering, and maths, for those that are not familiar with it. So it started with girls like me, just coming from nowhere, middle class family to, becoming who I am today. So we're like to give back. So I convinced about 5 of us at the time, and we grew to 10, to 12 actually, because we were giving it until during the downturn. And so what we used to do is to collect the money and give it to a priest to look for disadvantaged children and pay their school fees who are interested in sciences. So we didn't even get to meet these girls, never met any of them till today. I heard that some of them are graduates, never met any of them till today. So in 2016, during the oil industry downturn, a lot of my friends lost their jobs. It was just a few of us still working at the time. And I was thinking about how to make it sustainable, so that we don't let those girls down. So at some point, I was paying 50% of what all of us used to pay from my own pocket. So it became very burdensome. Yeah. So, and this priest, who is also my spiritual mentor, now he was one that suggested, why don't you register it as a charity? You're in the UK, they give to charity, and so that you can also get more, because he too, I think, came to the UK and he started working in the UK. So I didn't know a lot about that. And he said, if you give and you get gift aid, you can actually get 25% more from the government. So that was the incentive to register FACEYOUTH. But I didn't think about the structure, the time it's going to take to build and all that. And I was doing my MBA with Warwick Business School. So I was like, oh, why not use FACEYOUTH as your project, MBA project and dissertation. And that was how it came about. I started learning about managing a non-profit, a business and all that, because at the time I was also a business manager, but in the field, coming out of being an engineer to becoming an engineering manager, you learn in the process. I didn't know a lot about managing non-profit or even how non-profit works. I had to read up quickly. I'm still reading. I'm still learning. You never finish learning.
You
To me,
one cannot.
Exactly, it's a passion project more than even building. But I want it to be a non-profit that will outlive me. And that was why I didn't use Ify Foundation. I wanted something that, like UNICEF, Save the Children, like that will stand the test of time. So we are building a brand that will outlive our children. We want it to be like an African project, an African story, and beyond. So we're not just going to support Africans. Like I said, when we registered, we say we're working in Scotland and overseas. Although they say charity begins at home. So that's why we went to Africa, we'll build and we'll go to Asia. So the plan is to go to very deprived areas. To be honest, the vision I had for FACEYOUTH was not for the UK, because there are 25,000 charities, for instance, in Scotland, serving only 8 million people. Think about it. We have less than 20% of that serving 200 million people in Nigeria. Although people, they're coming up now, but I mean the legitimate ones that are actually making an impact, because so many of them are used for so many things and so many reasons, and political and all that. So FACEYOUTH is an apolitical organization, like I said earlier, committed to improving the lives of disadvantaged children and young people in Scotland and overseas. We have 3 major programs. First is poverty alleviation, because we believe that for people to, one of the things we saw when we started this project is that poverty is the main reason we have so many out of school children. So UNICEF reported that Nigeria has the highest percentage of out of school children in the whole of Africa, so and poverty is one of the reasons we have that many number of out of school children. And that was why we decided to start with poverty alleviation and support of quality education for disadvantaged children and youth empowerment. I'll tell you another story. So when I started FACEYOUTH, or before I started, I went for a burial. I hope I'm not overshooting the time. So
It's
call
fine.
me
We'll
because
probably overshoot, but let me hear this
storyteller
one.
or narrator, but sometimes I like to tell the story because stories help people get the things in context, you know. So I went for a burial one day in Anambra State, and I saw this girl, beautiful girl, hawking, abacha tapioca, the one that is on nylon that is used as a snack with coconut, and it was around school time when children are supposed to be in school. So I engaged her, I spoke to her. And while speaking to her, I actually realized that she's very bright girl based on her response. You know, the answer, you know how you chat with somebody. So I was like, I'd like to meet your parent. It was my first time in that community. I'm not from that community. I went for burial. I wasn't even familiar with it. But thankfully, went with a driver and a few friends. So they agreed to, when I say I'd like to meet your mom, you know, to take the girl after the burial, obviously, because I went back to that place I met the girl, and I told her that I'd like to meet your parents. So when I went to meet her parents, I realized that this girl is actually the breadwinner of the family, in the sense that her mom wasn't working. So her mom would go to the farm, get the cassava that used to make the abacha, this tapioca thing. And the husband was very ill at the moment, almost bedridden. So she was looking after her husband, and the girl was the one bringing in the money, you know, for food and everything. And it's very common, you know, it's very common with so many disadvantaged families at that vulnerable age. This girl won't be anything more than 8 years. I think she said she was, she didn't even know when she was born. So, which led me to her school, because I told her mom, what if we place you on salary or start a business that you can do? You say you're good at cooking and all that. And then we'll get this girl back to school. And we eventually got her back to school. And it was our first project. On the video that you see is on our YouTube page. Obu Community Secondary School. That's the name of the community. And that's where the girls' schools. So we had to, when we got to school, we realized that she's one of the brightest. Well, of course, she couldn't go to school because she had to go find something for her family. You know, there's nothing they can do. She was virtually the one bringing in the food for the day. So we placed them on salary and started a business for the woman, but it wasn't long before the business died. And that was the model I had for FACEYOUTH, because I believe in teach me how to fish, don't give me fish. So most of those women that their children were out of school, we started businesses for them. But what we got wrong was that many of them were not business inclined, because you can start business for somebody who doesn't want to do business or who doesn't know how to manage money. So what they do is, when they get the proceeds from the business, they think it's all profit. You don't know exactly. So we're hearing a lot of stories. In fact, some of them sold the equipment because we bought 50 sewing machine, 50 cooking equipment for women. When we started, the idea was, instead of using the money to pay the fees, we use it to start the business so that they can get money from there to pay the children's school fees. But obviously, it didn't work well at all. So I wouldn't say it's a success story or tell anybody to adopt the model. So many of the girls are currently out of school, and we're trying to, you know, re-strategize and see how we're going to take them back to school, because the parents mismanaged the business and the funds that were allocated to them. We try to, so it's just, when we say school fees, because primary education in Nigeria is free, so it's just, I think, at 1,200, which is less than $3 that is required for them to be in school. But you'd be amazed that so many families cannot afford that one. That is luxury for them. You know, nobody wants to pay that money. They rather keep their children at home to be doing stuff. In fact, I've heard so many from Anambra people, and they come up with, why would I send my child to school when they can go and learn trade? Or after school, they still look for job, because believe it or not, Nigeria still has the highest number of unemployed youth compared to the rest of Africa. So many families are now going towards our vocational skill training program, which takes me to our third program, youth empowerment. So we have different programs for young people. Those that don't want to go to school, we encourage them to go and learn. They have apprenticeship, where we match them with people that they can learn skills from, they can learn trade from, so that they're not wasting those years. So if you think you are not, because it's not everybody that can go to university, and that's what our people don't understand. Most parents want their children to be graduates, but at the end of the day, some people are better at going straight to business. And I also believe that entrepreneurship is one of the pathways to end poverty. So that's why we have. So under those three programs, we have different projects. And that's where you see our health and well-being, the mental health program that we have every third Saturday of the month falls under. And we also have, we are planning to introduce the radio school project where we train children. So our target are children from the northern part of Nigeria. Their children are always on radio. So we're still in talks with BBC Hausa, BBC Igbo, and BBC Yoruba, so that we'll see, even if it's 1 hour slots where we teach the children the basics, how to spell your name, how to converse, how are you, how much is this? Because it's required for trade, outside their land, or just basic knowledge, I know. I hope
what? We have to stop for a quick break as well, but we will be right back as always, just to hear.
FACEYOUTH Mission Love Christmas 2021.
Today is my first time of experience, as in seeing this happening and having a gift of it. Thank you to FACEYOUTH.
I feel very fine. Okay.
FACEYOUTH Mission Love Christmas 2021.
I felt very, very useful to the society.
So enriching, touching the lives of people. So nice to be part of people's faces today, and I'm grateful to be part of this wonderful project.
Wow, my dear sister Engineer Ify, you've done amazing things already, and I don't even know where to start. I know I've been told by video record the technical people that we've kind of coming to the last segment, of what we're supposed to be talking about, and that's why we've made the decision to have a part 2, and we're definitely going to be back to hear more of those stories, in terms of life lessons and so on. But let's focus now. You shared before we went on the break, you shared, some of like what you've learned about not doing again. But I know you have a big success story in the form of the center. Share that with us.
Oh my God, yes. This center, it's just the encouragement, not like you need, I always say it's the validation that you're doing the right thing, but you don't really need any validation when you are doing an impact project, because it's not for profit. So it's not like a for-profit business where your revenue is like your success story. But this community center, it was donated to us rent-free by Belma Engineering. So it's an engineering company in Aberdeen. It's actually next door. So it was their annex building. And it was very competitive though, because there were so many charities that were interested. You put in your proposal, and we were selected. I wasn't even expecting it. You know how you just say, let's try, we need a space. So, but it's an amazing success story. It's great. It's a very big center, and we use it for mental health and other community activities. We also use, like, we've given the space to other ethnic minority communities in Aberdeen to do their parties, Christmas party, do their events. So we have a very big events room in the space. And we've used it for our holiday clubs. So the children love it. So we run this holiday club in collaboration with the Aberdeen City Council. They actually fund it. It's a Scottish government project to help parents, during the holidays. So they bring in their families, although the targets are like disadvantaged families who can't afford to pay for school clubs, because all those middle class and other rich people, they can afford it. So now there's a space where they can bring in their children to learn new skills. So we started last spring. So this year is going to be exactly 1 year we started this program, and the feedback has been amazing, phenomenal. Like, it's life-changing when you see moms saying that they were caught between having to feed their family or sending them to a holiday club, that you have really, really made an impact. So they don't have to choose between feeding their families and sending them to this free holiday club, because it's totally free. And we do amazing. We feed the children. They learn a lot, from sewing to baking. You would have seen some of the videos and pictures on our Instagram page and Facebook page, and it's amazing. The children love it, and the space, they have a space to run around. They always enjoy coming to our club. It's always oversubscribed. In fact, the budget was cut down because obviously the Scottish government cut the city budget, and they in turn cut the budget. And they were telling us that we have to restrict the number to 25. I'm like, it's very difficult. Even when we say 50, we have over 70, we have 80, and we have to turn. And I don't want to turn down anyone, right? So sometimes we even have to solicit for donation just to keep it going, like who will support us. We had sponsors from local businesses during summer, because we did the first 2 weeks that were sponsored by the city council, but the children wanted more, and we had to go to businesses to say, see, they want more, they want at least 1 week. The parents want to send the children, and some of the businesses sponsored for the children to have extra 2 weeks at goal. So it's like where children learn how to play football and soccer. My son was also part of it. He enjoyed it. The amazing thing is how children from different schools, different background, both from private school, just come together and form this amazing bond and friendship. Oh my God. I think the best part of FACEYOUTH so far is that holiday club. I learned so much from the children, and I enjoy watching them play. I take my holiday to run the club, and my friends are like, aren't you tired? You don't want, I know my children are suffering it, but they will gain in turn, because as you're giving, they are the ones that say, oh, mommy, you want to go on holiday? I say, this is holiday. What is better than this, So they love it now. I mean, the younger ones, they don't know. My son is 11, so he's aware, he wants it, but now he brags at school to say, oh, I'm making an impact, I'm changing lives, I'm part of FACEYOUTH. So that's what I love.
Wow. I really would have loved to go, because I just love hearing your story. A lot of people will be going, she's keeping quiet, but I had to keep quiet so I could hear you, and hear your story, because you're juggling so much as a woman, as a social entrepreneur, a change maker, an engineer, a mother, a wife, and a daughter. You wear so many hats, and you're doing it in an amazing way. So we celebrate you.
Thank you,
Anyaegbu, the founder of FACEYOUTH. We just thank you for what you're doing. And we are going to be back to hear more of your stories, because I want to tap into some of the life lessons, you've had. What motivates you?
Yeah.
What are what keeps you going? What do you value most in life? Although I think I already can tell from some of what you shared already. And there's so much, of you in there. And you're even going back into full-time, working as an engineer. And
yeah.
but like you said, let me finish up with this last, question, and then we'll probably need to stop now. You said you have a team and that you can't do this without a team. So you've got volunteers, you've got staff. Do you have paid staff already?
Yeah, so we have 2 paid staff at the moment, and we have 2 people on 0-hour contract. You know how 0-hour, so there's still staff, but they come when required, and we have a legion of volunteers doing different things, from graphics design to video editing to helping us with technicals, IT, and all that. So yes.
So are you always looking for volunteers? So
we're always looking for volunteers. So we can't say no. Thankfully, we're getting 4 students from Robert Gordon University on placement to help for a month unpaid. So I think it's going to help, and it's coming at a very good time, because we're starting the holiday clubs from the 3rd of April next month. And I was worried, like, how are we going to manage everything? Am I transitioning to what? So now when they come, and then we have this amazing lady as well, consulting for us, and she will take on my role as the manager until we get the funding, because one of the major challenges we have is finding volunteers and also funding, because it's very difficult.
It has to be
when you are doing we are running a health charity, it's easier. You say, okay, it's cancer research, give me funds, people give you. But when you are running the kind of project, charity that we do, it's not easy to see the impact at first, but over time, you start seeing it based on people's testimonial, and you be like, because I remember, like I said, the vision I had for FACEYOUTH was not for Aberdeen, because I didn't know, I lost sight of the level of poverty here, until I started FACEYOUTH, because I used to think poverty is only in third world
countries.
But it's crazy. It's amazing. So it's been an eye-opening journey, learning about the level of poverty, even here in Aberdeen and the community. So it's coming together. It's coming together. And also the funding is just getting the right people, because right now we're not getting the funding, not because we're not qualified, but we're not getting it because we don't have the expertise or the people, because it takes a lot of time, and like you said, I don't have that much of the time, because I still have to do my work, look after my family, and be a wife and everything. So it's coming together. I think it's eventually. So that's why I don't mention it so much as part of a major challenge, because thanks to the Scottish government, through Aberdeen Council for Voluntary Organization, who value the work that we do, because that's what we've been looking for. It's really been encouraging. So they've been one of our major funders, and the Aberdeen City Council as well. I have to give them shout out. So and the few individuals who believed in the vision from the onset, donating their time, energy, and treasure, because it's very important. Believe it or not, you need people to run charity. You can have all the money, and if you don't have good people, you won't be able to run a sustainable charity.
Wow, I celebrate you, I honor you, I see you, and I know, we have Women's Month in March, and in South Africa, we actually have Women's Month in August. However, I believe Women's Day is every day.
Every day.
It's Women's Day.
I celebrate you too. You are doing an amazing job, I must say. You're a phenomenal woman. You're one of my role models. So we'll come back. Yeah.
No, I can't wait for part 3 for us to even come there when next time in Aberdeen. Aberdeen is still my town. And when next
It's
I'm
your
there
home.
to actually come visit,
Yes.
see the community center, see,
Yeah.
meet some of your beneficiaries
Yeah.
and your volunteers. So I can't wait,
Yes.
for that to
Anytime.
happen.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you again. And we're going to end there. However, in closing, I want you to just say a few words of encouragement to whoever you want to share it with. Thank you.
Yes. So I'm biased sometimes. So I love encouraging and mentoring young girls because whether you like it or not, we're still minority. I mean, I encourage everybody, and that was why when we had the vision to start Face Youth, I say I don't want to limit it to girls, and I want it to because I believe that everybody deserves an equal opportunity to thrive, right? So I want to encourage every young person, no matter where you are, start from where you are. Great things start small and then build and scale. You may think that people, and thanks to social media now, it gives great visibility. So when you do your work, post them on social media, people see genuine change makers. So be a change maker where you are. Start from little. Even if it's one person, you can imagine if you all choose one person to impact in life, life is going to be a better place. So don't think that you don't have the resources to start. You can even start by volunteering for your local organizations and then you build from there. So don't wait till you have the huge resources to register your own NGO. I see a lot of young people saying, oh, I want to start my own charity. I think we have many. So you can go and work. How about you want to collaborate with somebody that is already doing something similar to what you have, and then you build with the person, make an impact. So the thing is, you can make an impact from wherever you are, the little you have, and start from where you are. I believe that great things start small. Yeah. Thank you, Ma. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. So much in there. I can't wait for our next episode, which will be soon. So you guys, don't worry, you will get more of those tips, from Engineer Ify Anyaegbu for, for me, what sums it up is, be a change maker, which is what you're doing. I salute you, the work you're doing, or the work you've done already,
too,
even with all those women, back in, in the eastern part of Nigeria, even though you felt at that time it was not successful, but at that time you made a difference in their life. Thank you for the footprint you have already in Malawi, in Ghana. We want to hear more of that. Thank you as well for what you're doing in Scotland and sharing, the fact that what a lot of people don't know in this day, as we say in Nigeria, the jackpot season, where everybody wants to get out of Nigeria, but saying, even in developed countries, there's poverty, there's disadvantaged community, there's all those social issues, unemployment, and so on. But it is there. So you are helping, to do that. Thank you for being an ambassador for Nigeria informally, in Scotland, flying the flag, portraying us in a positive way. Thank you. And thank you to your team of volunteers, your staff who are helping you, to make this dream happen. Thank you to the Aberdeen City Council, to Akvo, I know Akvo very well, there, and to the engineering business who believed in you and chose you guys in terms of having that community center, which you're hoping, would help change lives more for good in Aberdeen, which will filter, into changing other lives around the world. I celebrate you.
Thank you, Ma. I celebrate you too, Mama K. You're a phenomenal woman. You're amazing.
Okay. We're going to cut. It's about you. Don't need today. But thank you. Thank you. That's all we've got time for today, guys. Till the next time when we're going to have Impact Africa. Keep watching, and we will be sharing the details for Face Youth. If you want to support, join any of their monthly health program. I try and join. There's so much to learn from it. We'll be sharing the social media handles. Visit them. They said they need more volunteers. They do need more funding. Or if you know anybody that can collaborate with them, just connect them. call, email, WhatsApp, whatever. We will share the details at the end. So till next time, this is Mama K signing off saying, stay safe, stay blessed, love you, and God bless.